On behalf of the Bob Marley Day Committee 2024, I welcome you to this celebration. Before we begin, I wanted to acknowledge that we are on the land of the Indigenous people, and Zaid is going to read that acknowledgement for us.
Okay, thanks for having me here tonight, guys. I'm just going to start off by welcoming you guys, and we're going to start off with the land acknowledgement. So the City of Toronto acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse nations and Inuit and Métis people. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaid. And again, it will be an evening of participation, entertainment, hopefully some education, but really inspiration. I think that's one of our main goals here today, is by honoring these individuals who continue to make a contribution in some of the incredible stories that you're going to hear today, creating further inspiration for all of us. Before we get started, I can just tell you just a little bit, and I'll become a storyteller here today, about Bob Marley Day and why there's a Bob Marley Day. The real story as to why there's a Bob Marley Day. And maybe, except for people that are close to me, like Roy Williams, who's one of our awardees, and others, the story's never really been told. About 33 years ago, I was a Crown attorney working at the Department of Justice, and part of my responsibility was prosecutions. And I faced a situation where, as I looked around, the majority of the individuals and challenges were coming from my community. So I felt a little bit caught in the middle. And we began with a gentleman called Lance Ingleton. Some of you may remember Lance, an incredible reggae promoter here in the city. And we talked about utilizing Bob Marley Day to build bridges between the police and the Black community. And that was the first Bob Marley Day 33 years ago. Since then, we've recognized many individuals from all walks of life. You'll hear about some of them today. It's never just been about the Black community. We've got members of different communities. Ahmed's here, past recipient from the Iranian community, and many others that we've honored. For me, it's been a great privilege to be able to provide a platform, and that's what we're here for today. We're really just here as a platform for these individuals that are already achieving so much. I also want to recognize Raymond Perkins. You notice I'm decked out in roots, and it's not coincidence. When we started 33 years ago, I actually called up Raymond and I said, "Hey, Ray, we're looking to do something." And every single year for the last 33 years, Raymond's been there with us, Roots has been there with us, creating some incredible jackets that some of you will see tonight, and the benefits to award recipients. So I want to recognize Raymond before we start as just one of those individuals. Within the spectrum of awardees, it's been very interesting. We've honored everyone from the billionaires, Michael Lee Chen, the Lieutenant Governor of the province of Ontario, Lincoln Alexander, was a very special one for the reason that, being a representative of the Queen, he was told by his office that he could not accept a Bob Marley Day Award. And he went against that and invited us to Queen's Park, and he accepted the award. And there's been many others, and some of them are here in the room this evening, and we'll get a chance to highlight them. or first awardee, and part of the goal, as I said, with the awards, is not just to, recognize individuals, but we've found that over the years, if you look at, individuals that receive the Bob Marley Day Award, in some ways, it becomes a launching pad for greater things. And so as we honor these individuals here today, we also recognize that they'll also have a greater contribution in the future. The first Bob Marley Day Award is Amber Morley, and Nicholas Thompson. Nicholas is my co-host today. Is going to read us Amber's bio, and it's very interesting having someone such as Amber here today in this room for the history of what she represents. And I'll let Nicholas just do that intro.
Good evening. How is everybody doing today? Great. Can you believe we're here 33 years later? This great gentleman here has been leading us to hold this prestigious event for 33 years without fail. Can we start by giving him a round of applause? Deputy Mayor, Councillor Amber Morley. She's a beacon of service and dedication, much like the legendary Bob Marley, whose music and life embody the spirit of love, unity, and social justice. It is therefore with a great honor that we recognize her with the Bob Marley Humanitarian Award. Elected to City Council in 2022 to represent the Ward 3 in Etobicoke Lakeshore, Amber has been a formidable force, tirelessly working for over 20 years on behalf of over 140,000 residents. Her dedication to advancing equity, inclusion, and community mirrors the ethos of Bob Marley, whose legacy transcends music and resonates deeply within the realms of social activism and humanitarian efforts. Amber's relentless advocacy for poverty reduction, youth equity, good governance, and equitable city spaces really echoes the vision of Bob Marley for a united and compassionate society. As the director of the South Etobicoke Youth Assembly of LAMP CHC, she has championed the voices of the youth, ensuring their needs and aspirations are not only heard, but acted upon. Her leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic, coordinating the South and Central Etobicoke vaccine engagement team, underscores her commitment to health and well-being of her community, a testament to her unwavering spirit of one love, much like Bob Marley's message of unity and empathy. I'm almost done. She's done a lot, so we want to recognize that. Her role in the City Council, contributing to 11 dynamic committees, including the Executive Committee, the Budget Committee, and the Toronto Police Board, showcases her multifaceted approach to governance, striving for systemic change that aligns with Bob Marley's vision of justice and equality. The establishment of the Toronto Youth Committee, under her guidance, is a pioneering step towards empowering the young voices of the city, resonating with Bob Marley's belief in a transformative power of the youth. Amber's journey, fueled by the values of intention, inclusion, love, and respect, reflects the principles that Bob Marley sang about and lived by. Her endeavors to build an equitable and inclusive community resonate deeply with Bob Marley's dream of a harmonious world. And as we present Deputy Mayor Morley with the Bob Marley Humanitarian Award, we not only celebrate her exceptional contributions to the City of Toronto, but also honor the enduring legacy of Bob Marley, whose music and message continue to inspire generations to live, love, with strength and unity. Please welcome Deputy Mayor Amber Morley.
You gotta open the bag. Open the bag.
Oh, love that for me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you to the organizers, to the committee. It's an incredible honor to be mentioned even in the same sentence as one of my personal heroes, Mr. Bob Marley. And so to be standing before you all today in this capacity as a change maker, as someone who is so grateful, privileged, guided to do this work in our community, to hold space for our experiences, and to contribute with all of the magic and alchemy and all of the things that we all take forward from our ancestors. And we're so grateful and privileged to be able to share in our society today. As was mentioned, we heard Courtney's story about continuing to see our communities reflected in some of the more difficult ways, how people continue to struggle, how we are disproportionately impacted, whether it be through poverty, through gun violence, through so many of these other social and societal issues that have deep histories in oppression, in racism, and for us to be in a position today under the kind of leadership and in the kind of world that holds space for voices like mine, with communities and allies who support our full ability to participate, to be seen, heard, and respected as part of the society means everything to me. And so I'm so grateful. Again, I'm so proud and privileged to be doing this work. I know I stand on the shoulders of giants, and I am so blessed to be supported by energies bigger than myself. And so thank you to you all for your time here today. Thank you for the organizers for taking the time to mark these milestones and to hold space for these moments. It really does mean everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amber. And again, we're seeing the face of Toronto, right? That's what I'm going to leave you with, the face of Toronto, as Amber begins her journey to ensure that representation, especially for our community in the political space, is accomplished. Our second awards winner is a gentleman. His name is Al Quantz, and Al is, Nicholas is going to read his bio, but I actually nominated Al Quantz because of the impact that he's had not only on my life, but on literally, I would say, thousands of young black men in this city, where he dedicated a lot of his Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays to running youth center programs, primarily in the Oakwood, St. Clair area. And Al's also been involved in Jamaica and in Africa. And, his work and the individuals that have emerged, like, for example, Rob Samuels there. Stand up, Rob. Rob is one of the emerging stars from that Canadian national team. He's played basketball all over the world. And Al has been just an individual who was able to give a lot of opportunities to the black community. Nicholas, come forward, please. Al?
Coach Al Quantz, a transformative figure in physical education, basketball, coaching, is the next recipient of the Bob Marley Day Humanitarian Award. His journey began at Oakwood Collegiate, leading to a pivotal role within Toronto Raptors, where he established the Toronto Raptors Ambassadors Program, highlighting his commitment to community engagement. A champion for the development of basketball in the Black community. Al Kranz's initiatives like the St. Clair Drop-In Center and the Panthers Basketball Ontario program have provided essential platforms for young athletes to excel. Internationally recognized for his contributions, Al Kranz's expertise has influenced basketball development models in Jamaica, Botswana, and the Turks and Caicos. His induction into the Ontario Basketball Hall of Fame and nomination for the Canada Basketball Hall of Fame are testament to his profound impact and dedication. As we honor him with the Bob Marley Humanitarian Award, we celebrate a legacy that embodies the spirit of unity, empowerment, and excellence in sports. Please give a round of applause.
Coach, you got the mic.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How are you? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Before I start, I want to make it known that all the stories you've heard about Courtney Betty as a superior basketball player are true. I had to write a few things down because at my advanced age, I didn't want to forget anything. But I feel truly blessed and honored to receive an award for something that I always consider to be my role and responsibility in society. I could share many stories with you of how we went about developing basketball in the Black community, and also the systemic racism that we had to overcome to get to where we wanted to get and to enable young Black athletes to participate. Instead, I'm going to just give you a quick description of where it all started. In the 70s, I was the head of physical and health education and head basketball coach at Oakwood Collegiate, which is located between Bathurst and Dufferin on St. Clair Avenue West. It happened to be on the Migration Highway. And when I was there, the Italians had begun to move north to Vaughan and Woodbridge, and the area now entertained the arrival of immigrants from the Caribbean. With the help of the St. Clair Community Council, I established the Youth Basketball Drop-In Center, not realizing how much of a need there might be. And we operated every Tuesday and Thursday. The first night I arrived to open the gym doors, there were over 100 young people banging the doors down to try and get in, of which 90% of them were Black youth. They wanted to play basketball. All they needed was a place to play and some instruction. This gave birth to the Saturday Morning Youth Basketball League, and the first year we ran with over 250 young girls and boys primarily from the Caribbean community. And this was the breeding ground for future Scholastic, International, and NBA stars, Rob Samuels being a classic example. So we now had a model. And one of the success stories from this program was Courtney Betty, who became a well-noted lawyer. with Courtney's help and my connection with being the manager of community relations for the Toronto Raptors Basketball Club, we managed to roll this model out to a number of Black communities all over Ontario. And with the help of the Olympic Solidarity Movement, we were also able to expand this model to Jamaica, Botswana, and Turks and Caicos. I don't have, I'm really deeply honored to receive this award. I don't have a whole lot left in the tank, but I will commit to you whatever I've got left. I will continue to advocate for Black youth in this community. Thank you. Thanks, Courtney.
You got all your goods?
Is that it?
You got all your goods?
Yeah, I got all my goods. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
No. One of the reasons we came tonight was about the music of Bob Marley. And I know that the deputy mayor has to leave, and thank you for being here. And so I'm handing it over to really the person of the hour, Earl. And you'll hear a little bit about Earl tonight. He's just what he is, a committed musician of positive thinking who has continually giving of his efforts to the Black community. So I know that Earl has a few songs. Let's hear one from him now.
They don't wanna see us unite. All they want us to do is keep on killing one another. They don't want to see us live together. All they want us to do is keep on killing one another. Top ranking. Did you mean what you said? Are you skanking? Are you skanking? They say the blood, it runs in a line from a heart of a heart divine. And John saw him coming with the truth from an ancient time. The brotherly love, the sisterly love, I'm feeling this morning. This morning, the brotherly love, the sisterly love, I feel this morning, feel this morning. They don't want to see us unite. All they want us to do is keep on killing one another. They don't want to see us live together. All they want us to do is keep on killing one another. Top ranking. They say the blood, it runs in a line from a heart of a heart divine. And John saw him coming with the truth from an ancient time. The brotherly love, the sisterly love, I'm feeling this morning, feel brotherly love, the sisterly love I feel this morning.
He's just getting warmed up. He's just getting warmed up. One of the great things in the tradition of Bob Marley has always been who's there at the grassroots level, who's working there. Sometimes, you know, a lot of individuals within the black community, they get awards, and that's great. But sometimes we don't touch enough on the individuals who are really down on the roots, such as Clarence Ford, who you're going to hear about. Clarence has done a lot of work in the Regent Park community in a very creative, novel way, trying to solve problems by effectively starting a circus performance group in that community for young people. So Nicholas is going to do the intro for Clarence. Clarence, can you come forward, please? Nicholas?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Clarence Ford is a visionary in the entertainment industry and a beacon for social change. As the founder and executive director of Square Circle, Clarence has harnessed the transformative power of the social circus to empower youths in underserved communities. Also echoing Bob Marley's commitment to social justice and empowerment. His illustrious career spans collaborations with global icons and influential brands, showcasing his ability to transcend cultural barriers and inspire unity, much like Bob Marley and his music. Clarence's creative genius exemplified in projects ranging from choreographing for international stars to directing critically acclaimed films resonates as well with Bob Marley's message of love, hope, and resilience. His dedication to fostering talent and providing opportunities for marginalized youths aligns with Bob Marley's vision of a harmonious, equitable world, making Clarence Ford a deserving recipient of this prestigious accolade. Please welcome Clarence Ford.
So everyone, thank you for this. And Courtney, Raymond, I really want to thank everybody for acknowledging Square Circle. And if I just continue to share with you the story, how it all started. Last year was our 10th anniversary, and I have some of my 3 performers here that are going to perform for you. I could not do it without the community. I could not do it without the support as people like yourself, with Raymond, Pat, my friends, everybody. How we started, this is the story. Long story short, I work for Cirque du Soleil. I choreographed a couple shows for Cirque, and they gave me 50 tickets to give to Regent Park community and St. Jamestown. I gave them 50 tickets, and I came back a week later, and the tickets were still there. And I was like, I didn't understand, because they're like $250 a pop. I'm like, okay. So I went into the community. I understood that these are first-generation Canadians, and a lot of them, and they've never seen circus before. So I had to go into the community and befriend them, and there's a trust factor. And I did, and once I did that, and then I took them to the show, and I watched when they went to the show, they were so amazed, they glorified the show. So what I did is I took them backstage to show the process, because that's the key. And once I showed them the process, then I said, okay, cool. Now we're going somewhere. And then it was my show. I took them back to do workshops. And then years later, I had the opportunity of Robert Foster and Janet Price. Robert Foster is a big advocate of arts and culture. And Robert told me about, he was the chair of Artscape. And they were building Daniel Spectrum in Regent Park. And it was just under construction. And I had, it was still in hard hats. And I decided that moment, I stood in front of the office, which I still have today. I said, I'm going to start a circus program. And that's why I started by vision. And so now we're 10 years in, and we've gone through 8,000 kids. And a part of it is amazing because more than ever, it's not about learning to do circus. Circus arts helps you with your cognitive skills. It helps you in so many different areas in your life. And also, what we have done, we have 4 or 5 kids that have scholarships from our program that have gone on. We have one girl, Stephanie, she had a scholarship to Bishop Strong. And in her last year, she decided that she wanted to run for student council president. She beat out all the girls, and she put programs in there. And then her last year, now she's at Western University, but she got a scholarship. It's a scholarship called Loren Scholarship. And Loren is a very prestigious scholarship where they give it only out to about 25 people, and 8,000 kids from across the country applied. And she was one of the people that got it. And the reason why, it's not only the marks, but it's all the social programming, because our kids come back and work with us. And that's how our programming works. And so I can go on and on and on and on, but I'm going to say that I have these 3 guys, Ivan and oh my God, Oli and Mark. And they're pretty amazing. Do we have the music? Do we have the music happening? Yeah, they can do through anything and anywhere. But our kids, one sec. But what it is that what I'm really proud of, where Square Circle has grown. And now this year, we've now have partnerships in Barbados. We're starting a social circus program in Barbados, endorsed by the mayor, Mia Motley, and it's pretty amazing that we have our kids from Regent Park going down, some of them never flown on a plane, going down and teaching kids, youth, and in Barbados. And so I just want to guys, you want to go do your thing? Okay, cool. They got to show it's choreographed, and they put it together themselves. And our kids are not only circus performers, but they do programming. They can do programming. They get to do administration. They do all these things, which is really important to have these skills. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here are the Square Circle: Mark, Ivan, and Oli. Go, guys, do it.
you never know where the talent's going to lie. So, you know, thank you, Clarence, just for, you know, the vision and the commitment, because the persistence is what really had to come through here. And helping 8,000 young people in our community is an incredible amount of individuals. So thank you so much. Sounds like Earl wants to do another song. Let's hear it before we get to our final list of awardees.
Should it be Bob Marley or just whatever I want? Bob Marley. Okay. I'm going to do the one you like. Your special song from, remember when you graduate?
Remember that song?
All right. One drop. Yeah, this is a Bob track called One Drop. Feel it in the one drop. You still got time to run. You're making a one stop. The generation gap. Oh, feel this drum beat as it beats within, playing a rhythm, resisting against ism and schism. I know Jah never let us down. Pull your rights from wrong. I know Jah never let us down. Oh no, they made the world so hard. Every day we've got to keep on fighting. They make the world so hard. Every day the children are dying from hunger and starvation. Lamentation, read it in Revelation. You'll find your redemption. He was the teachings of His Majesty. We don't want no devil philosophy. He was the teachings of His Majesty, but we don't want no devil philosophy. Read it, read it, read it, read it in Revelation. He was the teachings of His Majesty, but we don't want no devil philosophy.
Thank you again, Earl. So I'm always creative when I do this stuff, and this is where it always gets fun, because I get to pick on people, and I enjoy that. And so as I look around the room, I'm going to have a 1-minute sound bite, and I just want to recognize some of the individuals who are past award recipients who are actually here today. I think it's critical just for them to come forward, give a quick 1-minute greeting. I know Velma's looking at me. What are you doing? The program's going to whack. We're going to be good. I'm going to ask Valerie Steele, former award recipient, Bob Marley Day Award recipient, to come forward and just bring a quick greeting.
Good evening, everyone. As a past recipient of this prestigious award, it always confirms to me all the giants we have in our community, all the visionaries. It makes me, it tickles me purple when I see somebody like Courtney holding this together for 33 years. That's a lifetime. And what we ought to do is to continue to believe that we are better and always strive to be better and make sure that we find our rightful place in this place, because Bob isn't dead, he's still alive. And all the words he left us with, all we have to do is just say something.
Thank you, Val. I know there's a couple of people saying, "Don't call me, please," but I'm going to call up Dr. Joel Moody, one of our award recipients. This guy is just a superstar, one of the leading researchers on ovarian cancer, and now he's a deputy minister with the province of Ontario. And we recognized Joel quite a few years ago, and we've just seen him rising up the ladder. So, Joel, please bring us greetings.
So good evening, everyone. As Courtney said, I'll talk with him a little bit later outside. It's hard when I say this, because to be recognized by your own, it means something. And I think that's where we, as a community, we want to do better. We hear the stories about what's negative, but what about the stories that are positive? We hear the stories about what can't happen. What about the stories of what can happen? So one of the things that I do in my professional life is ensure that we show up and be present. And I think that's what each of us, and as a former very proud recipient of this award, I do that every day, not only for the people in the province that I represent, yourselves, but also for the ones that I'm teaching and the ones that are coming up. So all the award winners tonight, congratulations. Continue to show up and be present. Thank you.
All right, we got two more pick-ons. Ahmed, you know I'm going to call you, so you might as well just come up now and get it over and done with. Come and bring us greetings.
Hello, everybody. I was hoping he doesn't pick on me, but I feel as black and as white as all whites. I think color doesn't matter. I am so grateful. I come from a difficult background, as you know. Many of us have come here for refuge, actually. It wasn't maybe a choice. But being here now, I think we are grateful, I am at least, to be able to help other people. I mean, this is a great community, so you could look up to people who have made it. And there are a lot of people out there that maybe a little bit of an encouragement, a little bit of a hand, maybe just an ear. You don't need to spend money, just to be there for them so they know there is hope, there is future, and nobody should give up. To the day we breathe, we should help each other and hope for a better future, despite all the bad news and the bad things that happen in the world. This is a reflection of how many good hearts are here, little steps have taken, and they made huge difference. And I want to thank Courtney for 33 years of dedication, and I hope we see him many more years here.
And I just got to confess that this award is also very special for me, this recognition. My daughter, Nia, come forward, please. Nia's a Bob Marley Day Award recipient from, I don't know, 5-6 years ago for the work that she was doing as a ballet dancer, and she's now been featured on the Forbes Under 30 for this year as one of the 30 most influential women in the world, young women. So I'm extra proud to have seen her development over the years.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and happy Black History Month. Thank you for that introduction. I'm so honored to be among incredible leaders and champions and change makers as a Bob Marley Day Award recipient. Thank you to my dad and to Nicholas for all of the work that you do. And another shout out to Raymond Perkins right here for just being an incredible ally, leader, and champion of the work that we all do every single day. Thank you.
Thank you, Nia, and thank you all for coming. Oh, Stephen, how could I forget you? Come forward, please. Stephen Ware, come on, hurry up. Stephen is just being the center of the Black community. He is the person that covers the stories, the media stories, has done it like forever. And Stephen's one of our past award recipients as well.
Thank you, Courtney. What Courtney said is right. I do press. And so when I come to an event like this, I start counting the cameras. There's one there. Freelancer down there. CBC maybe standing up. So I'm glad that we're doing the event, but I'm also really glad that the eyes of the world are here. And so, thanks again.
Number 9.
Oh, thanks. So, and to the media, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, Stephen. All right, we're now going to get into the second part of our award ceremony. And, you know, sometimes when you're working on the grassroots, as I said, you don't get recognized. And, you know, all of us know that no matter the great visionaries and the great leaders that we are, if you don't have those individuals, they're going to be pounding the pavement, putting those many hours in, nothing gets done. And so our next awardee is Francis Del Sol. Nicholas is going to introduce Francis. And we wanted to recognize Francis. And, you know, it's been interesting again with Bob Marley Day, what we've done over the years. We've kind of looked at where our community is, right? So, you know, many of the awards that you're seeing right now, we're capturing a little picture of what's important at this point in time. And in many ways, we've always dealt a lot with the social challenges facing our community. There's now a new awakening, and that's one of the reasons we're saluting Francis today, of the economic opportunities that are there for our community. And how do we begin to start building those economic opportunities, especially for entrepreneurs and the creativity that are coming from our community. So Francis, come forward, and I think Nadine is going to handle the intro for you. Nadine's going to do the intro. Nadine, come forward, Nadine. And I'm going to introduce as well, who's going to introduce Francis, Nadine Spencer. And again, you know, Nadine, former president, CEO, former CEO of the Black Business and Professional Association, and a strong emergence, and you can see the difference within that organization, some of the amazing work that's now being done with a focus on community economic development. So I want to just have Nadine come forward.
Thank you so much. It's actually going to be Nicholas that's going to be doing it, but I am a past recipient of the Bob Marley Day Award, and I do want to say that, you know, Francis Del Sol is a remarkable community champion. She truly walks the talk. She cares, and she has done so much traveling all across Canada to enable opportunities for the underserved Black communities from Yellowknife to St. John, all over the country. She's quite a remarkable woman. But you didn't call me up, Courtney, for my... But you called me up now, but another thing. So, you know, I work a lot with Black women entrepreneurs. I run a program called Boss Women Entrepreneurs, and I always think about Bob Marley's song when he sings to Rita and he says, "No woman, no cry." And when I think about the work that Black women, the struggles that we endure, we really need the song, the words from that song, "No woman, no cry." And people like Francis Del Sol works to sustain, build, and support and strengthen this particular sector in our community. So Francis, congratulations and well done. And I will now turn it over to Nicholas.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nadine. And now let me tell you a little bit more, expand on what Nadine has just said there. So Francis Del Sol is the Vice President of Operations, National Partnership, Outreach, and Procurement at the Business and Professional Association. The organization is Canada's leader in supporting business, entrepreneurial, professional, and overall social and economic development of the Black community. Frances brings extensive insight and management competence from her experience as a corporate manager. She was a senior procurement and supply chain manager at Bell Canada. She earned trade accreditations in both the United States and Canada and helped to enact and deliver best-in-class procurement strategies at Bell Canada. Her activities included industry representation as the Media and Relations Officer in Canada for the Institute of Supply Management. She also served as a Public Relations Officer for the Durham Purchasing Management Association of Canada. As a community advocate, she has served in several capacities. She was the founding president of the Council of Caribbean Associations Canada. She is also a community influencer working with the Canadian Armed Forces to help bridge the gap into all Canada's communities. Frances was acknowledged as one of Canada's 100 accomplished Black Canadian women, in addition to several accolades and awards, including the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Award, RBC Canada's Top 75 Immigrants, the BBPA Woman of the Year Award, Afro Global Television Volunteer of the Year Award, and OECS Award of Excellence, among many others. And today we bestow the prestigious Bob Marley Humanitarian Award for Frances Del Sol. Please welcome Frances.
And your roots. You get roots too.
Thank you, Courtney, for this honor. I really didn't know, when I got the call, I was flabbergasted because I'm thinking I am probably not deserving of this. I now believe I really am not when I see the likes of Valerie Steele, whom I admire, that woman. God knows, everybody I can speak to, I tell about what she's accomplished. And I think if I'm in that class, I still have such a long way to go. But I thank you for this tremendous honor, and it is one that I will accept with humility, a lot of pride, and I will share with my folks from Dominica who would never have expected me to get a Bob Marley Humanitarian Award. So I will, it will be on Dominica News Online by the time we leave here. But I just want to say that the work, I listen to all the other speakers, and the work we do is so important. There's so much more to be done. I came to Canada as a community servant. My parents were community servants. My dad was a police officer, and eventually became the deputy fire chief. And my mom was a school principal, but they always taught us to pay it forward. So I tell people when Oprah Winfrey made that phrase popular, paying it forward, I already knew what that meant. Because as a 9-year-old child, I would say, why are you taking, in the Caribbean, they would bring ground provisions, yard food, and if they didn't have money. And she'd just collect it and give, and I'd say, take money from them. And she goes, my child, I'm paying it forward. I didn't know as a 9-year-old what that meant, but I understood as I grew older, it was about serving community. And so I'm so proud to be here tonight with my brother, my sister Paula, my daughter Teresa Ann, because we continue to do the work that our parents taught us. And so when we came to Canada, the landscape was a lot bigger. There was more people needed help. And I didn't see myself anymore as a person from Dominica, but rather as a Black Caribbean, Canadian woman who needed to help my Black community. When Haiti had a disaster, I jumped in. And I thought, I have to do this. It didn't matter who needed help, we jumped in. And my work at the BBPA is a continuation of that which I learned as a child and that which I've done for years. And I want to emphasize that although we think we have made headway, and we have to some extent, there is still so much work to be done. The landscape is still not fair. And so when we go out there, we all have to be each other's keeper. We have to be each other's brother and sister and speak on behalf of our community and speak to the government and the people who hold positions of power about what still needs to be done. I could go on and on about what needs to be done, but I won't. I want to say thank you. I want to say to the honorees tonight, congratulations. I'm proud to be amongst you. And to those who've received it, proud to be in your company. I really do appreciate this honor, Courtney, and I guess I owe you big time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Frances, and Nadine, for the critical work that you're doing. I know that the mayor is here, Oh, Madam Mayor. Good evening. And, you know, before I introduce the mayor, I wanted to just take 1 minute, and I know Velma's saying again, and I wanted to introduce Dr. David Green, an individual in our community who's doing a lot of work on Black mental health, associated with several different institutions. And I just want to introduce David. If he could just come forward and just bring like a 1 minute greeting, that'll be great. He's bringing his laptop, which means it's going to be 2 minutes. Leave the laptop and we'll go for 1 minute. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, Courtney. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk with you. It's normally good to remember what you say by making sure you say what you have written. But I will just use this opportunity to just remind us of a couple of things that I believe are, very important and instrumental in the way we operate. And one of the things that I believe that Bob Marley represents for us is enlightenment and inspiration. And you may have heard a lot these days about empowerment. But you know what empowerment means? It means to give power or authority to someone to do something. But enlightenment has to do with something bigger than that. It has to do with allowing people to understand and gain knowledge. When we allow people to understand and gain knowledge, it makes such a big difference, because what it means is that they are better able to take control of their own destiny. The challenge we face as a society, and especially in the Black community, is that we need to pay attention to the mental health challenges that we face. And I believe that Bob Marley would say to us today, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. It's not just a personal responsibility, but also a collective responsibility. Because Bob Marley was a man ahead of his time. If he was alive, he would begin to tell us about learned helplessness. He would begin to tell us about anosognosia. And I could go on to talk about what these concepts represent within the mental health realm, but time will not permit. What I want to encourage us to do is to liberate everyone, every member of our community, to have that right to learn, to live, to love, and to laugh. And whatever we can do to make that a reality, let us do. And finally, if Bob Marley was alive today, I believe that he would construct being alive in several ways. First, I believe he would say alive is an opportunity. I believe he probably would have said no. Being alive is a response, is an opportunity. I believe he would say no. Being alive, I believe he would affirm that it is a responsibility. Let us take this responsibility and do the best so that no one will, while we are able to do something, not be able to live out their lives and to live it to the fullest. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay. We now get to a very important part. We have 3 more steps to go in our presentation this evening, and it's really special, first of all, to recognize our Lifetime Achievement Award winners. And I want to start with Mr. Jay Douglas. Many of you know Jay. Jay is an individual within our community, not just for his musical talents, but if you look at all the community gatherings, wherever there's something, wherever there's an event that music is needed, Jay shows up for decades and gives himself tirelessly. So I want to have Jay Douglas come forward. And I'm going to have Nicholas do the bio, we'll do the presentation, and then Jay has a special musical tribute that he would like to do in introducing the mayor. So we'll get him started.
Thank you. So Jay Douglas is a luminary in the world of music and a paragon of community engagement. He is distinguished, and he is the recipient of the Bob Marley Lifetime Achievement Award. His journey from the vibrant stages of Montego Bay to the heart of Toronto's music scene exemplifies a profound commitment not only to his craft, but also to the communities he has touched. Jay's influence extends beyond his dynamic performance as the frontman of the Cougars and as a celebrated solo artist gracing stages worldwide. His involvement in pivotal projects like the From Jamaica to Toronto concert tour showcases his dedication to preserving and promoting the rich heritage of Jamaican music in Canada, making significant cultural contributions that resonate deeply within the community. Moreover, Jay's presence in Toronto is immortalized through iconic murals in Reggae Lane and on Yonge Street, marking him as a central figure in the city's cultural narrative and a symbol of the enduring cultural ties between Jamaica and Canada. His nominations and awards include the Juno Award shortlist and the top chartings for his album Confession, highlighting his artistic excellence. However, it is his unwavering dedication to fostering community ties, celebrating cultural heritage, and his lifelong collaborations with foundational musicians that truly embody the spirit of Bob Marley and the Bob Marley Lifetime Achievement Award. Please join me in giving a lusty round of applause for Jay Douglas.
Madam Mayor, I would love for you to also participate in the
Oh, you need to be in the middle, right? It's okay.
Didn't write.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to, Your Worship.
I stay.
Yes. Yes. I thank you.
I'm back.
Thank you, Courtney, and your supporting cast. Also, Raymond Roots. Thank you. I'd like to thank you. Thank you. One good thing about music, when it hits you, you don't feel no pain. Music is the only international language of joy. I'd like to share a story with you. May I? Many years ago, right after my mother, Noreen, who brought me here, she came here as a domestic worker, 1955. And Miriam Briscoe, they came here in the domestic program. And right after that, my uncles came, and there were police officers here in Toronto. That one particular police officer, Stan Pinnock, went home to Jamaica for the first time for vacation. And he asked me to pick him up at the airport when he returned. And so I gladly did that. And when I got to the airport to pick my uncle up at the airport with his wife, Stiller, he came out with a frown on his face. My uncle. I said, Uncle, what happened? Oh, you look like that. You didn't enjoy your vacation. He said, no. I said, what's wrong? He said, the plane full of woolly Rasta man. Them disgusting. They are embarrassment. I said, who? See one of them there? I said, you know who that is? No. I said, that's Bob Marley. What? You sure? I said, okay, watch me. So I went over to Bob and said, Bob. He had a huge bottle with lime juice. This was Bob. And he came up to me and said, what the man they say? I said, I'm Jay Douglas. You remember me? He said, no. I said, you remember when you went for audition at Studio One in Kingston? I auditioned the same day with you. He said, what? The man on there from them time there. So I said, what the man they go on with for himself with the music? Listen to me. Well, I'm in the Cougars, me a skank. He said, you're not doing anything with the music, but long after. But I should say, he was on his first world tour. And his first stop was Massey Hall. You should have been there that day. Never knew so much Rastaman in Jamaica. In Toronto. Ganja. You had to see it. And while we greeted him here, who was waiting in the wing? His brother-in-law. Wesley, where are you? Stand up, please. That's Rita Marley's brother. Wesley Anderson. And when the Soulettes came with Rita, my band that I work with, the Cougars, backed him, backed the Soulettes at Royal York. And it goes on and on. But one thing I'd like to share with you. When Bob came and he finished his show, there was a club, Club Jamaica. And the band that was playing there heard that after the show, Bob was coming by. And when Bob came after that, in that night, and he entered the club, the band ran off the stage. What, Bob? Bob? And he looked at them and says, no, go back to that stage and finish the people's work. You can't do that. So right there and then he told them and taught them about accountability and who we are. And this award that you gave me, I'm accepting it on behalf of the kids, the young kids. They are the gem of the future. We have to teach them and teach them well. Mr. Williams, you taught me a lot of that. Why? And I want to say something before. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many of you here today know this. The most important part of one's life is the first 7 years from conception to that child, till the day that child is being born. And whatever we give that young man or woman for those first 7 years of their lives, that's what determines their future. We must teach the children well. Your worship, I met your husband many times. He was supposed to come and jam with me with his saxophone.
We only know one song.
So we must teach the children, and we must get ready to get them ready for the future in this community. I'd like to do a song for you all right now. So, thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
It's very rare that, we have two incredible individuals receiving, the Lifetime Achievement Awards. I think over the last 33 years, there may have been 5 individuals that we decided was just really super special that we had to give them an award. And again, this individual, in my view, just really represents not only everything that Bob Marley stood for many years ago, but all the things that we need to stand for here today. I started off by giving you the story of Bob Marley Day and the first day. It wasn't an easy day. There was a lot of controversy as to whether or not Mayor Art Eglinton should actually declare Bob Marley Day. And that controversy spilled over almost into a riot. That's how serious the issue was. And we got up on stage 33 years ago. And part of the goal, as I mentioned to you earlier, for Bob Marley Day was to build bridges between the police and the community. And so I thought, wow, we have the first black chair of the Toronto Police Services Board. What better person to give a Bob Marley Day Award? And of course, that ignited a firestorm on many different levels. But the firestorm became even greater that evening. The gentleman got up on stage. I had no idea what he was going to say. And he said, as the chair of the Police Services Board, the black community needs to put together a legal fund to ensure that the issues in our community would be addressed. And there are probably different versions of what transpired, but I know in my heart that that statement cost him his job, his voice. I'm proud to introduce Mr. Roy Williams, not just a hero, but an individual who has always spoken truth to power, irrespective of whether or not it's going to cost him his job. Mr. Williams, come forward, please. Nicholas, you can do the bio.
Roy Williams is Professor Emeritus at Ryerson University School of Business. He has been an academic, business owner, and lifelong community advocate against racial discrimination and for racial equity and social justice. As the founding president of the Jamaican Canadian Association, he has been involved in a wide range of social and civil rights issues that has helped to change this country. These activities include anti-racist immigration, equal employment, employment equity, human rights, policing, and justice issues. Roy advocated for diversified membership of agencies, boards, and commissions in Ontario, and was the first black person appointed to the Toronto Police Services Board. There, he advocated for the promotion of visible minority and female officers. He was a member of the Race Relations and Policing Task Force of 1989. Roy has received many awards that include the Harry Jerome Community Award and the Jamaican Canadian Association Trailblazer Award, as well as the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Award. Please stand and give a rusty round of applause for Roy Williams.
Mr. Williams, the podium is yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I had not anticipated something quite like this. You gave me a position that I did not occupy as chair of the board. I was a member of the board of the, at the time, Metropolitan Toronto Police Services Board, the first black person to be on any of the boards and commissions. And as was mentioned, I strongly participated in advocating for our boards and commissions and our positions in office. And I was so pleased to see Amber, a vice chair of the of the city of Toronto, and so on. In those days, we had to fight very hard to change the system. I wrote a speech, but it's too long, so I won't give it. And the speech, the topic of my speech was in praise of I forget the title now. In praise of disruptors. In praise of disruptors. And I referred in that speech, which is written there, that the first prominent disruptor was told about in the Bible, and his name was Moses. And he fought to liberate the children of Israel, who was in bondage in Egypt for 400 years. And Pharaoh was a stubborn resistor and would not accede to Moses' request. 9 plagues before the stubborn Pharaoh relented. But Moses, the first, what's the term that I just mentioned? Disruptor. To break the bonds and liberate the children of Israel. I then mentioned a few years later, 1215, the Magna Carta, where the barons revolted against King John and said, you can't be a dictator, a despotic ruler, we're going to revolt. And we had the Magna Carta. And then quickly followed the American Revolution and the French Revolution. All disruptors to change the system. To change the system. Okay. And then I mentioned Black History Month, a number of black disruptors. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, first person to form a black movement to recognize black people recognizing themselves to be worthwhile people. Mahatma Gandhi, resistance, civil resistance, liberated country of India. I mentioned Nelson Mandela, spent 27 years in prison, but he broke the system of apartheid. Dr. Martin Luther King broke the system of racism, or attempted to do so, and so on. I mentioned the French fighter, his name escapes me now. The gentleman said, you need to bring your notes with you. Who was instrumental in liberating Haiti from French rule. Yeah. Okay. And so on. Just to mention that we need all of these people who would interject themselves in the system to change the system. Some did it peacefully, peaceful resistance. Others had to take more difficult methods to do so. At the time when I was awarded, time is up, right? Time I was awarded was really a conflict in this city. And I mentioned as a disruptor 2 people. Charles Roach and Dudley Laws stood up to disrupt, to march, to resist, to change, bring change to the system. And I would like to say that the system is always very resistant. They may grant incremental changes, but the power is not quickly released. People in power do not quickly give up power, but the fight to upgrade for liberty and change and a better world means that we need disruptors to bring change to the system. Thank you for presenting me with this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy, for your inspiration, and Jay. It's really now my honor, and I know we're a little bit behind time, but, you know, it's very special, this opportunity to actually introduce our mayor. You know, I was actually at City Hall. I came down on Thursday or Friday just to do a run-through, and it was interesting because I started looking at all the pictures on the wall, and I took pictures. I was going to bring them today, and there's really no one else that looks like her. There's no one else that looks like the diversity from our community, and so in many ways, she really represents, you know, the goals, the aspirations, and the hope that we have, and so it's really very special to invite our mayor to come forward and to bring you greetings. Someone that I've known for a very long time, and just, you know, I spoke on the radio about it last week, and I said she's put together a tapestry of a budget, and let's all support her, our mayor.
Much shorter than you. It's wonderful to see all of you here for Bob Marley Day. This is the 33rd year the City of Toronto is recognizing the occasion. I grew up with my wonderful stepson, Mike Layton. If you had come to his room, you walk in, the first thing you see is a gigantic poster of Bob Marley. That's his North Star. Congratulations to all the Humanitarian Award winners, the Lifetime Achievement Award winners. It's been an honor to know quite a few of you, quite a lot of you. Yes, Mr. Layton only know one song in the saxophone. He might be able to jam with you, just that with one song. For 3 decades, the community has gathered to honor the life and legacy of Bob Marley, iconic artist, activist, humanitarian known around the world for his message of love, peace, and unity. Do we ever need that now? Peace. Think of the war that is around us. Think of the hate that we could occasionally dissent to. That's not what Toronto is about. We need to listen to Bob Marley a lot more. As we reflect on these values, we celebrate them. Bob Marley's vision for how people should get along, how they should treat one another, is perfectly demonstrated in this year's theme, One Love. And in that lyrics of One Love, hear the children cry. Crying. Hear the children crying. Some children are crying tonight because they're going to bed hungry, right? 1 out of 3 Torontonians have to use the food bank, and 1/3 of them are children. And so some of them are going to bed hungry, and they are crying because of that. And thank you for reminding me, yes, that budget put in money for 220,000 kids in school so they at least during school time won't be hungry. You can't learn when you're hungry. So there's so much to learn about coming together of one heart. And let's get together. These are the ideals we aspire to. As a city, we're a beacon of hope. People all around the world come here to start a life, find a home. We need to build more homes because some cannot find a home. Some are desperate looking for a home. Some are living in shelters. 11,000 people are living in shelters. Some can't even find a shelter because the shelter is full. And they are brothers and sisters from all around the world, from a lot of African countries, from Ukraine, from anywhere. We have to do so much better. We have to hear each other cry. We have to come with one heart, one love. And yes, we are a very special city. We are the most diverse. Yes, we are. And were you not proud when you have the TDC chair, Jamal Myers, black young man, corporate lawyer from New York, coming back to Toronto to serve the city? Your deputy mayor, first black deputy mayor, Amber Morley, yes. Yes, it does make a difference who your mayor is. Make sure I point those people, right? We need just more creativity, more dynamic energy, more entrepreneurial, more exciting place to call home. Gives the city flavor, like good seasoning. Yeah, you season things, you have good flavor. And when we gather at events like that, I see food over there. Celebrating Bob Marley's vision for a peaceful world, we can see that flavor, that seasoning in the art and the music we're experiencing tonight. That's the magic of this city. That's why, as a mayor, I'm working to create a city where everyone belongs. Let us show the world that Toronto is the place to be during the FIFA World Cup in 2026. Yes? We will have the biggest party and the most exciting, most dynamic, most diverse party ever in 2026. We can start working on it now. Now, thank you for gathering here at City Hall tonight, bringing joy, music, magic into this building. Have a wonderful Bob Marley Day and Black History Month, and thank you for allowing me to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think the mayor anticipated where we're going and already, and she's going to lead us, I'm sure, when we get to that stage. But there is still one more award that we have. Nicholas is going to come up and do the Black Talent Initiative. If you could come forward, please.
Thank you. The Black Talent Initiative is a charitable social impact organization committed to cultivating an inclusive community where Black talent thrives and to provide opportunities to empower their journey. Actioned following the murder of George Floyd and the rise of the Black Lives Movement Matter, BTI was born out of the shared compassion, lived experience, and the desire to challenge anti-Black racism. They reimagine communities that are diverse, equitable, inclusive, and embrace a sense of belonging. Their clear vision to foster an environment where Black individuals are not only welcome but celebrated, for their unique skills, experiences, and contributions. They do that by bringing together a diverse and influential community of Black and allied professionals, industry leaders, and change makers that partner to learn from impactful connections and build sustainable initiatives that reshape systems rooted in inequities. Please welcome the Black Initiative.
Good evening, everyone. Very honored to be here on behalf of the Black Talent Initiative. My name is Hilda Juma. I am joined with two of my colleagues, Lashwana on this side and Tatiana there, taking wonderful photos and videos of this amazing opportunity that we have been awarded. We are an organization that exists to say that as Black people, we want to be welcomed and embraced. We want to be celebrated, and we have lived experiences that can bring a vast, diverse opportunity in any space we walk into. I think that for a lot of Black immigrants in the city of Toronto and across this country, struggle to have those doors opened, struggle to have opportunities, and so we exist to help in that journey. And to be on this stage with these amazing honorees and previous past award recipients is such a delightful honor, and I am honored to be here as well. As a little kid growing up in Kenya, I never knew that I would take the stage to support a Black-led initiative, particularly in a diverse city like Toronto. I think I'm very humbled, and I know that the generation to come is going to be disruptors, change makers, and revolutionaries in the city of Toronto. So thank you.
Okay, so now we're here for the final disruption. Everybody's got to stand. Jay, where are you? This is your moment here. We're gonna hear the music, and everyone's got to sing. You got a mic in front of you, so stand up and belt it out. Can we have the mayor up here? Can we have the award recipients all up here? Come on, let's come on up here and sing together. Oh, come on, Nadine, join in. Raymond, you're in the crowd too. Let's go. Let's get everyone in here. Let's start hitting.
Check 1 1 1 1 1. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Everybody,
come on, let's go. Yes. Don't be shy. This is not shy time. Come on, we need you all.
Let's get it together and feel alright. As I'm singing, one love, one heart. Give the thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. And we said, let's get together and feel alright.
Come on, we need to hear you.
Let them all burst dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just the same as old? Believe me. One love. Everybody. One heart.
The voices.
Let's get together and feel alright.
One more time.
As it was in the beginning. One heart. So shall it be
Let's go, last one.
One love. Sing it out. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Sing it out. One love. What about? One heart. What about? Let's get together and feel alright. Sing it out. One love. What about? One heart. I mean, say let's get together and feel alright. Sing it out. One love. One heart. I give thanks and the praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright.
One.
One love.
Thank you. Hold on.
Sound engineer. God bless you. Thank you. Please put your hands together for Mr. Errol Blackwood, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we go, we really reminisce. I got to thank the committee. They're standing right here. Velma, Nicholas, Zaid, just been incredible, right? It may seem simple, but there's a lot of work that had to go into this. And I got to also thank Earl, right? Earl,
yeah.
I called. Let's give Earl a hand. I called up Earl. Next thing I know, he drove in from Kitchener, just came in. Jay Douglas. It may seem simple. They've been working on these songs, trying to pull things together. And yeah, and also the sponsor In Touch. And also just want to thank all of you. We really wanted this to be an event that somehow inspires each of us to just lend our voice just a little bit to the issues and the problems that are facing our city. Because at the end of the day, it's our city. So we have that responsibility. There's meals that's here. I want to thank the caterers. They've just been amazing. You know, get their cards. They just kind of jumped in as well. Raymond again. Thank you everyone for being here. The evening's not over. Enjoy the rest of it. Thank you.
Special thanks to Courtney.